Okay, welcome back to this week's Conversations with Marléne and Pascale. This week, we are having a think about living like you already have the life that you dream of. We are going to be thinking today about what does that even mean to live life like you already have the life that you dream of. How you can do it if you don't have it, and how to make it a reality and not a dream. Gosh, we've got so much to talk about today, Marléne. Before we get into it, let's introduce ourselves. My name is Pascale Lane. I'm a therapeutic relationship and confidence coach, combining my therapeutic skills, relationship skills with life coaching, and I help women to have the relationships that they truly deserve with their partner, their loved ones, but mostly with themselves.
Wonderful. I'm Marléne Rose Shaw. I'm a therapist and coach and self-help author. I work with individual clients and with couples, and I specialize in helping people with confidence and relationships and having the best life.
Excellent. Fantastic. So, having the best life. So we started off this conversation just off camera a few minutes ago, just having a think about how to create the life that we want for ourselves, how to manifest the life that we want for ourselves, and really the importance of living like you already have it. I mean, this is something that we kind of use as like journaling prompts all the time as well, isn't it, Marléne? So what does it mean? Like, what does it mean to live your life like you already have the life you dream of?
I think that often people, and I've done it too, have this idea about this dream life out there in the future, and it's like a goalpost that always moves. It's always in the future. It's always hoping to get to it, as opposed to actually just embodying that life now, becoming the person that you want to be.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think I did this with you a few weeks ago, so forgive me. But what's that wonderful expression that Wayne Dyer says when you
change when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change.
that is a great one. That is a great
It's not
one.
that one.
It's not that one. It's
Well,
not I'll see it when I believe it. It's when I believe it, I'll see it.
see it, that's it. Yeah.
So really kind of like, yeah. I mean, I think one of the things that that I've struggled with in the past is and what a lot of people struggle with is like how can I be it if I'm not there? How can I live this life? How can I, how can I pretend, if you like, to be doing to be having the things that I want if I haven't got them, to be having the lifestyle that I want if I haven't got it. But actually it's not about, I think we can get lost in the big stuff and like, well, I haven't got the big things yet, but yet you can do all the little things that really give you, I think it's about the feeling that it conjures up for you, and the feeling of either abundance or knowing, or the feeling that you know that you're going to get there and that you are on the path towards it, rather than the feeling of it's this big thing over there that I have no real concept of, and I don't know how I'm going to get there, and I don't know if I'm even going to get there because it isn't here yet. So if it isn't here yet, it's not mine to have. And like there's a disconnect between the two, rather than considering that the two are actually perfectly joined, and all you've got to do is just kind of walk towards it.
And I think when you say feeling, that's absolutely the key, isn't it? Because we are vibrational beings, and it's about feeling. you know, we can feel our way to something. So if we can conjure up the feeling that we will have when we reach this particular whatever it is, then we are already on the bridge walking towards it, I think. So if you wanted, say, you know, an example of if you wanted more money, so it's a sort of classic thing that people want, you know, to actually look at the money you have got and feel the gratitude for it, and put money in your purse. A lot of people do that these days. They put quite a lot of money in their purse to carry around with them, so that they have the feeling of being used to having that. It's that, and it's those thoughts around the feeling, that good feeling of having that, as opposed to there's a whole load of money in a pot of gold over there over the rainbow, and I don't know how I'm going to climb over it, as you say.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Which is a lot in a way like anchors, isn't it? So I'm looking over on my wall over there, and I've got pictures of houses and beaches and swimming pools, and cars, and there's something about getting used, and the money in the wallet is the same thing, right? Getting used to, getting so familiar with that thing that it doesn't feel it doesn't feel like it's impossible. Like you get so used to seeing it, you're just like, oh yeah, that's the house I'm going to have one day, that's the car I'm going to drive one day, I'm really lucky I've got the beach already, it's just like
Well,
2 minutes there,
I'm
you
sat
know.
here
But like,
giggling. I'm sat here giggling because I know you
you're
live
looking
in
at
a
the
house,
pictures.
you have a car, you're by the beach, and there's a swimming pool outside. Yeah, it's that feeling, isn't it? You know, it's that feeling of, because we are vibrational beings, and I think we get caught up in our heads about the logistics of how, what thoughts do I plan to make? What are the steps that have to happen? I must know all the steps to get from A to B. And actually, that will work itself out if we can get into the feeling of it, because when we get into the feeling of it, we get into the attraction of it, we get into the zone of it.
I've just had a client session just before we came on and did this recording. Obviously, I'm not going to break any confidences, but she's had a really big breakthrough the last couple of weeks, and which is wonderful. And when we started working together a few weeks ago, she was so shut down to love, relationships, sex, enjoyment, connection. I should say she is at this point married, right? I mean, like I said, I'm not going to give too much away, but this shift that she's had, and seeing her energy change to the possibility that there is space in her future for love, that there is space in her future for a healthy relationship, a happy relationship, a sexually fulfilling relationship. And not just that, but also a life of travel, and a life of abundance, and a life of experiences, and a life of, like, my heart rate's going up as I'm talking about it, because like in that we just had this like 10-minute window where we were just talking about it, and I was kind of like, and then what, and then what, and then what. And I could see like her whole shift around. Yeah, I started off this this journey with me so shut down and demoralized, and actually now that she sees that there are so many opportunities ahead for her, she just needed to get into the feeling of it. Because the reality, let me just say for anybody that's going like, well, what the bloody hell do you do with your clients? Like, you and I both know as relationship therapists that, like, of course we want relationships to work. That's why we do the job that we do. Of course we want relationships to work, but the over, like, the reality is that sometimes they don't, and sometimes that's okay, and sometimes actually what people need is permission to be okay with the fact that it's over, and that it has been over for a really long time, but they've been denying themselves that for such a long time because they don't feel okay, right? And this is happening with quite a few of my clients at the moment, if I'm honest, where they realize, like, God, it doesn't have to be like this. I don't have to live my life like this. Like, I don't have to be miserable. They don't have to be miserable. Like, there are so many other opportunities. And just kind of like allowing herself that shift in energy to say, actually, this is the right thing for us all. And seeing that now suddenly relationships are important to her. Love is important to her. Sex is important, travel is important, all these things are now important. And now, having been such a thing that just didn't exist in her future, let alone something that she couldn't grasp, now are suddenly like, yeah, this isn't going to happen this week. It might not even happen this year, but knowing that it is going to happen at some point is just so, makes me so happy for her.
So how do we move then from seeing something as, you know, either never going to happen in our lives or hoping but not really expecting it to actually making it a realizing it?
I think being really honest with yourself about what you want and what you need, and being really honest with yourself about where you are and why you're there. So a lot of honesty, actually. Where you are, why you're here, what you want, why you want it. Because that's the other thing as well. It's like, I want the money, right? I want the abundant lifestyle. But actually what I want is to have fun and to be happy and to be able to spend time with my children and my loved ones, and to be able to buy them things, and to be able to do things and travel and have experiences. That's actually what I want. So sometimes it's not like, sometimes it is the nice house and the nice car and the lovely scenery, but it's actually the experiences that come with that.
It's the experience.
Who wants a nice house and a nice car and a nice scenery if you haven't got the people to spend it with? You know, like, all the enjoyment or the appreciation for it.
So it comes back to that feeling. It's all about feeling, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ultimately, we want to feel good. We want to feel
Yeah.
good. All human beings just want to feel good. And all these other things are the things that we think we need in order to feel good. And that's fine. But we need to feel good first in order to get to them. And that's the thing that we, so many of us make the mistake of. We think, I will be happy when, like you said about the Wayne Dyer thing, you know, I heard so many times when I was growing up, oh, I'll see it when I believe it. I believe it when I see it. Sorry, I'll believe it when I see it. And actually, that's what we get wrong. I'll believe it, you know, it has to happen first, and then I can be happy. And actually, I have to be happy first, and then I'll see it.
Yeah, absolutely. Have to be happy first. Have to have that energetic alignment. Have to have that that sense. So, like, that sense of, which is something that maybe we're going down a different route now, but also the fact that I deserve it.
Yeah.
Like, I deserve these things. Like,
yeah.
I just for special people who aren't me, but actually they are things that we like. I say, like me, like us collectively, like, we all deserve it. We all deserve happiness. We all deserve to enjoy our experiences. We all deserve to enjoy our relationships. We all deserve to be seen, valued, validated, all of those things. It's just like, it's like basic.
Mhm. Do you
I mean,
think
it's not
sometimes
basic. It's not basic. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, it's deeply complicated, but like, it shouldn't be. Like, because actually,
it's a basic human right?
it's a basic human right.
Mm.
Yeah.
And do you think that sometimes we have a mindset that many of us have a belief system that happens in our early years, and that mindset says to us, you have to kind of earn this thing, you don't deserve it, only some people get it, you have to kind of work hard for it? Do you think a lot of people have that going on in their mind that makes this thing that they want seem a long way away, that they don't have this, well, of course I deserve it?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd be out of work if people didn't have it, because I mean, I come at it much more from a relationship point of view. So I mean, I'm massively into business. I'm massively into manifesting. I'm massively into hopes, dreams, goals, reality. But actually, on a fundamental level, my job is about relationships and what we think we deserve in terms of love, what we think we deserve in terms of mutual respect, what we want from our relationships, what we're willing to put up with, what we end up settling for, what we compromise on, what we ignore our own needs and desires for. All comes down to self-concept, which all comes down 90% comes down to lessons we learned growing up about our worth and not just about our worth, but also about like how the relationships around us, what the relationships around us taught us about love and communication and boundaries. And what, yeah. So like it's all so intellect, which is why, oh God, I'm getting all excited now, which is why when I work with my clients, and I'm sure exactly the same for you too, Marléne, when we work on one thing, everything changes. Because actually, once you start to realize that the flaws in your relationship are not your fault, it's not a blame game, but like down to, and not all of the flaws in your relationship, right? Because I'm working with a couple of women that are in very abusive relationships at the moment, and that's not their fault. But it is around what we put up with and what we settle for. And once you realize that you deserve better than that, and once you're no longer willing to put up with bullshit, then you won't put up with bullshit in any other areas of your life either. You know, like you up your game across the board. Oh, my heart's racing. My heart's getting all giddy, because you then start to step up for yourself. And once you start stepping up for yourself, it can't help but affect everything that you do.
So actually, if we want to, look at something that we very much want in life, we want to manifest it in some way, actually, one really important thing to do is to work on ourselves.
Always.
To work on ourselves, because
Always.
by doing, we are getting ourselves to a position of, I deserve this.
I mean, that is basically my job description in a nutshell. It's all about that. It's all about that, and it's so empowering. It's just so empowering. It's great. I love it. I feel quite emotional. You know, because it's not always about relationships ending. Let me just be really clear about that. Like you have a choice. Well, like everybody has a choice, right? You have a choice to walk away, which is what I was talking about with two of my ladies at the moment, actually. But you also have the choice to actually just put in boundaries for yourself around your relationship, around your needs, around your self-care, around your work, and actually raise everybody up with you.
Exactly.
You know, it doesn't have to be like, I deserve more than this, I'm out the door. It can actually be like, I deserve more than this, and I'm taking you with me. You deserve more than this too.
And I think that's the point, isn't it? Because sometimes I think people feel that if they bring about the thing that they want, that they will leave other people behind, that there's somehow or other, you know, people have this mistaken idea that, you know, if they stay poor, not poor, but, you know, if they stay at a level, then it's somehow going to help other people feel okay, or, you know, but we can't, you know, as they say, we can't make a poor person richer by staying poor with them. We can't make a sick person better by being ill with them. It's about bringing people with us, isn't it?
Yeah. And that's a beautiful thing. Like, if you can inspire others to do better and to be better, not be better in a materialistic sense, but be better as in be a better version of you.
Yes.
Like, I want to be a better person, but like, not like a better person because I'm a bad person. I just want to be a better person. I just want to keep growing.
To keep going.
I just want to keep growing, keep going, you know?
Yeah. Do you think that there are practical ways as well as working on ourselves? Do you think there are practical things we can do to help us bring about whatever the thing is that we want in the future?
Well, I think the obvious one is scripting, which is what I'm in the process of doing at the moment, actually, which is writing as if you already have it. This is the exercise I've also given one of my clients today, which is, you know, think about what you want, what your life is going to look like, write it out as if you already have it. But I think really that I think it's really difficult to do it on your own, because I don't think we see our own blocks. I don't actually think we see our own limitations. We're very good at being self-depreciating, but I think actually to really get into the really deep-rooted stuff, I think you like genuine, and as somebody, let me caveat, who has spent years and thousands of pounds on personal therapy and personal development and professional development, you need somebody to do that with you. I like 100%.
And maybe to do it with a therapist, and then to do the work, to sit and do the scripting yourself, you know, hand in hand.
Or just journaling. Like, at the end of
journaling,
overwhelmingly, I will get my clients to do some sort of journaling at the end of our sessions, and say, I mean, some of them like it, some of them don't. It's a personal choice, and I'm not, you know, the majority of my clients get a huge amount of benefit of, and I've got one of my ladies who I just absolutely love. I'm going to be devastated when we finish working together. She actually texted me up and she said, "What are my journal prompts for the week? We didn't. What am I writing about?" It was just like, okay, great. It's a really great way of consolidating your thoughts and reflections after you've done the work. And I think that is a really important part of the process.
Yeah. Another thing that I do, and it's something, again, it's very much something that if you'd have to, you know, some people would enjoy it and some people might not, but I do quantum jumping, which is meditating and going and visiting my future self and
Oh,
asking her for some advice of how did you get to be here? What were the steps you took? And getting some information. So that's quite, you know, it's a practical thing. It's quite a woo-woo thing, but it is, I find that really helpful and inspiring to do.
oh, I love that. Okay. How would people do that, Marléne, if they didn't know?
Well, there are ways to do it, and obviously I couldn't, you know, describe it all within the time we have here. But there are lots of things online that you
I was going
can.
to say that there've got to be some meditations on
Yeah,
YouTube
there's
for people to do.
meditations, there's things. Mind Valley has quantum jumping training. There's lots of different things. You just type in quantum jumping and you'll get led to it. Yeah.
Okay.
Lots of people
Fab.
do various versions of that. You know, I practice matrix re-imprinting with my clients where you can go future or past and visit yourself. It's another sort of version of doing that, and get advice. And because every part of us exists in one time, so why not go and visit them? And it's quite nice to go and visit your past self as well sometimes, so because it reminds you how far you've come.
Yeah. Yeah, wonderful. Wonderful. Okay, fantastic.
So we span from the woo-woo quantum stuff, jumping, right back to the going and getting some help from a therapist like ourselves to work on your self-worth in order to deserve this stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Because the thing is that if you don't think goes back to something that I was talking about like years ago, but like if you don't, you can do all the journaling, you can do all the manifesting, you can do all the vision boards, you can do all of the scripting, you can do all the meditating, right? But if fundamentally you don't think that you deserve what it is that you're going for, you're never going to get it.
Yeah.
Like that is the absolute bottom line. Or if you are lucky enough to get it, you'll sabotage it and lose it.
Yeah.
So that self-worth, that deserve is why I always come back to it. This has been my beating drum for years now, is that self-worth piece is the most important, in my opinion, right? In my opinion, is the most important work that you can do for your relationship, for your children, for your well-being, for your money, for your goals, for your dreams, for all of it. If you don't think you deserve it, it ain't gonna happen.
So know you deserve it, and then add all these interesting, fun tools.
Absolutely. And get in touch with us if you want to do some of that work. Like we are more than happy to help. We're more than happy to help. It's what we want to help. It's what we do. Drop us a DM. Yeah, thrive on it. Absolutely. So drop us a DM. You can DM me anywhere. Facebook, book a call with me. I'll put the call booking links. Got a call booking link for you in the comments below as well, haven't I?
In the comments.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I really enjoyed that, Marléne. I feel all energized now. I'm going to carry on my scripting before I go and cook myself some lunch.
Okay, all right. So look forward to seeing you next time, Pascale.
Excellent. All right, take care.